Oh, hi, sweetheart. Are you okay? Are you hurt? What happened? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, that must be so hard. Well, why don't you just sit down and relax and I'll take good care of you, okay? Well, don't worry about a thing. You're so cute. You don't have to worry, okay? Well, I hope you don't mind. I put a little mint in my mouth before you came in and it's still in my mouth and I didn't really think about it, and now it's kind of awkwardly in my lip, and I don't know if I should chew it or if I should just try to tuck it back in my cheek pouch or something. I don't know. But see, that's just the thing. Life just throws you these curveballs, and sometimes you make a choice, and well, it's a questionable one, but that's okay because you just gotta, you just gotta keep going. Because what are you gonna do, Life is, it's short and it's also very long. Oh, well, that makes sense that you would feel that way. Anyone would feel that way in that situation. Of course you would feel bad. Oh, well, I mean, I don't really have anything like that, but, you know, I'd be happy to, I'd be happy to stay with you for a while and just talk to you. Well, sometimes the best thing you can do is just try again the next, start over tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day, Tomorrow is a brand new day. Well, you could sit here and you could feel sorry for yourself, or you could just take the L and try again tomorrow. I mean, I think that there's always, there's always a lesson to be learned. I once heard a great saying that said, I never lose, I only win or I learn. And, I really like that, and I think it's true. I think it's true if you have the right attitude. Everything that happens in your life is an opportunity for you to grow and for you to learn. Don't you agree? Now, just think about this, okay? If you're sitting around feeling sorry for yourself all the time, thinking about how you can't do this and you can't do that, and that just the world is not made for you, well, you know what happens? You start to believe it, and you start to act that way, and you start to go through the world thinking that it's true, and you know what? You'll put that out in the world, and that's how people treat you. But if you go through the world and you say, hey, I have a right to be here too, I belong here too, and I got something to offer, and I might not know it now, but I'll figure it out, and I'm going to go out of my way, and I'm going to think about how can I make someone else's life better? How can I go out of my way to make someone else feel good, Instead of just thinking about myself, instead of just sitting there thinking about me, myself, and I, You ever think about that? It's good advice. So, you start thinking about things. What can I do? And you know what? You don't get scared when you make a mistake. Life is full of mistakes. Everybody makes them. Nobody's perfect. And you know what? Anybody who's really good at something, I'll bet your bottom dollar that person has made many mistakes learning how to do what they do. Nobody's born knowing how to do everything. Nobody's born perfect. Nobody's born knowing how to, I don't know, play basketball or fly a plane or, get a girlfriend or whatever, Nobody's born with that. You gotta learn. You gotta make mistakes. You have a little compassion for yourself, mister? You have a little compassion. I know it's confusing. It is. Because I'm saying buck up and toughen up and don't feel sorry for yourself, but then I'm also saying have compassion. Well, it's what we call the dialectic, you know. You gotta have both are true. You're doing the best you can, and you're not doing that great in some areas, and you gotta work harder. You gotta do better. You gotta get some new skills. That's okay. That's life. That's everyone. That's me, believe it or not. I got problems too, but you know what? I don't sit here and I don't talk about them. Nope, I don't. I get to work on them. I see what can I do, what can I control, what could I have done better in that situation. What are things that are beyond my control? How can I respond? Because that's the thing. I'm going to come here. Come in closer. I'm going to let you in on a little secret, okay? You want to hear a secret? Well, come on. Come on in. Come here. Closer. All right, well, here's the secret. Oh, I already forgot it. What was it again? See, I make mistakes all the time. I really do. I make mistakes. I got so distracted trying to get you to come in closer that I forgot what I was even talking about. Some kind of secret. Probably the secret to solve all your problems and, fix your whole life. But, what can you do? Sometimes you forget. But that's it. That's easy come, easy go, You gotta not take yourself so seriously, You gotta laugh. You gotta have a little fun. Play around. Make a mistake. Life doesn't have to be so darn hard. Life doesn't have to be so darn hard. You understand, It really doesn't. I mean, sure, life is hard. There's a lot about life that is darn hard, and I don't care for it. Let me tell you, I do not. There's a lot of bad things that can happen, and it seems like there's nothing anyone can do, and it's just sometimes the worst possible thing does happen, and that's sad, and you gotta cry, and you gotta feel what you're feeling, okay? You do. And then you gotta try to make sense of it all. You gotta try to pick up the pieces and build your life again and do what you can do, Sometimes you can't make sense of something. And then that's something that you grieve, That's something that you live with, and you try to make sense of it in some way. But that's the thing, Oh, I remembered what my secret was. See, you just gotta relax, and then it comes, There was a time when if I would have done that, I would have had a real little conniption about it. I would have probably just said, well, that's it, I'm done. I'm done for, but no, that's not what we're going to do here. The biggest thing that you can learn, in my opinion, sweetheart, is how to respond, because we can't control what's going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. There'll be joy and sorrow and happiness and sadness and the full kit and caboodle of experiences. If you're lucky, you get to have it all. You get to feel all the things, the joy, the pain, all of it. The best thing that we can do is train ourselves to respond appropriately, to respond to whatever's happening. So if something really scary's happened, if you're being chased by a tiger in a jungle, well, you better think fast, and you better run. And you know what? Your brain's gonna kick in, and you're gonna respond. And that's the thing. I bet you anything that any time that something really has happened, you've handled it. You might have anxiety. I might be a little worrywart, and run around, have your brain running in your mind all the time. Like a little roller coaster, like a merry-go-round or something, like a little spinning tornado or something. But you know what? When something actually does happen, you respond, don't you? You respond appropriately. You do. I bet you do. I'll bet you anything you do. And any time that maybe you didn't, well, you learned from that, didn't you? Yeah, you did. You probably thought to yourself, well, I'm not going to do it like that again, hopefully. Well, you really don't have to do it again like that. You can learn. And you can grow, and you can, any failure, any mistake, any time that you have a fight with your friend, or you trip and fall, or you do something and you feel like a silly goose, well, I'll tell you, you can learn from that. You really can. You can learn all you can learn. And every time you can take a moment, you can pause, you can check in with yourself, and you can say, well, how did I do there? How did I respond? What did I do? It doesn't need to take all day. It doesn't need to become your life's work. It can just be something you do. Just a quick little check-in. Well, that didn't work. What happened? What did I do? What do I think happened? Where did we go wrong? It doesn't mean you take all responsibility. Certainly doesn't mean you go, confessing, just, you gotta, but this is this is something you do with yourself, You can do it. Because the thing is if you just sit there and complain, if you just sit there and talk about your problems all the time, well, then that's all your brain's gonna know, is that you got problems. It's about, how can we grow the skills? How can we build the skills to have a meaningful life where we participate in our life, where we add value to our life, where we feel connected in our lives? And that's it. And let me tell you, it's not scrolling online all the time. It's not sitting and talking about yourself. It's not buying something that you think you need, but it's not going to change anything. It's getting fresh air. It's doing things to make yourself better. Who do you want to be? It's exciting, and you can change all through your life. I've been hundreds of different people, and I'm still changing. It's true. You can change too. Or you can stay exactly the same, whatever you want. It's on you. Do you feel better? I hope so. Did I talk too much? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Hey, that's another thing I heard, and I think it's good, when you say sorry all the time, but it's not, you didn't really commit an offense. It ends up being, well, here's what I think. On the one hand, it makes you kind of like it basically makes it so the other person has to then care for your feelings. Because you're like, I'm sorry. And then they have to direct their attention to trying to make you feel better, when if you did something offensive, it's better just to, right the wrong, or thank them, or say thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me. Thanks for telling me what you need. Thanks for reaching out. Or, I really love talking to you. That's a nice thing. Affirm. You could do it. You could affirm the relationship, Affirm it. Say, I really love talking to you. I appreciate you listening. I'm so glad you came to talk to me. I'm so glad you asked me for my advice. I'm so glad you're still here. Or you could say, hey, like, I really talked a lot there, didn't I? Wow. You're a great listener. Well, I do. Thank you for it. Thank you for that, Or, or if you really did hurt someone, you say, I really didn't care for that. I really did a number on you. Sorry about that, Well, pardon me, excuse me. Thank you kindly. Something like that. I don't know. Just a little something I've been thinking about. Well, I really did talk a lot, didn't I? Well, do you feel better? Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I love that. I love that you talk to me. I love that you come to me when you're feeling bad, and I can help you feel a little better. I love it. Well, it's been real fun, okay? You take care. You take care of yourself.